Hello, world.
Hello.
Hello.
And now dead air. Sorry, I'm making a note here. People
Oh, boy.
Huge success.
Huge success. Well, yes, people are reaching out to me on the social media because it has been busy. Because it is now June of 2019. Speaking to you from the future.
Or the past.
Yep, that's in the past.
The future past.
And now that's in the past. Okay, so yes, so this is Vital Hearts. We just did the big drag out fight. What is on the screen? Oh, I'm seeing a big white void. Oh, I'm just pulled way out. I
Yup.
defogged the whole map, didn't I?
Yeah, to show us the castle.
Yeah, White Heron Castle. Thank you again for the White Heron Tourism Board. For giving us a nice map of White Heron Castle. So, yes, so Vital Hearts has been in design transition for a while. You guys have been excellent playtesters. We just talked about some of the nitty-gritty of the game, some mechanics that do. So with us today, we have several players. I'm the lovely and talented Norman Rafferty. I'm joined today. Teth, who are you playing?
Jikai Kato, a PvPer whose avatar's name is Susano, the Decider, and I am a day laborer.
And Griffin, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Hiraku Oshira, who is a infotech worker and exploiter in the game. He's a predictor class, and his motto is, "What am I doing here?"
Motto we can all get behind. Arcaloy,
Absolutely.
tell us about your character.
I am playing Hashimoto Kanishiro, whose avatar is Katsu the Influence. Hashimoto is an opportunist and hacker, and his personality or motto is "doing it their way isn't as much fun."
And last, we have riding high on the blockchain. It's Avery.
Hello, I am playing Rahul 121, also known as Cesar Babak. His motto is "Observe and Act," and he is an opportunist, and he's playing a repulse, correct?
Yes, you're you're actually a criminal, right? I keep confusing you with hacker.
Yep.
Right, criminals you have like crime skills, whereas a hacker you'd have more computer skills. But no, you're here to steal stuff. Okay, and it's a cute little adorable little working model guy. Sorry, I'm little
Wants to
distracted.
take over Japan, though. We gotta keep him.
Because we just had the big drag out playtest, and like I'm in this weird engineer mode where I'm excited to get back to work on the boring stuff in the game because we've got a lot more content to add. I want to thank a lot of people. We haven't the last update. It was still dated 29 May. I think maybe we had an interim update after that. I'm not sure, but it wasn't a major update. But we just did a video game fight where we had a big drag out fight at Fog Cloud Castle. I forget the Japanese name, but it's Fog Cloud Castle, where you fought the Fog Cloud ninjas and defeated them. But we kind of did that was kind of a filler episode that we did out of order, because if I remember correctly, while you guys are kicking a lot of butt in the VR world, the RL world is a different situation.
Yeah, I believe we were being hunted and tracked down and trying to counter-track them.
So you've been spending a lot of time in the Kansai Industrial District, which in the fiction of this world is still largely abandoned factories that never quite recovered from the lost decade. And you had gone to a specific type of factory where some of you, or at least one of you, thinks they're an action hero from an 80s movie and drove a truck into a building.
Look, man, I'm good at trucks.
Yeah, so you are. Actually, yeah, do you get transport from your career?
I get transport from my player type.
Oh, from your player type. Roger that. Okay. Yes, and as always, we're encouraging people. If those of you who are in the early access, there is a comments form, and we do read your comments. So if you've got questions, we've got answers. So I think one of the things that we're discussing that usually playtesting brings up is when there are holes in character design that we didn't actually see until we actually playtested it. Because it's like, hey, this build makes sense. Then you build your character and go, you know, I don't have any endurance dice at all, right? Like not a one. That's why I'm glad that we do some of this. I'm thinking back to the Urban Jungle game where we had some of that. So yeah, so you drove the truck in, you guys altercated with what apparently appear to be robot people. And I think one of you got severely injured.
I think I got knocked out.
Right.
Hit him with a truck.
No.
Didn't I back into him with the truck when he was sneaking back around?
I think I got crossbow bolted
I think you got crossbow bolted. I
while
think
trying to open up the back of the truck.
I think we joked that you might run him over, but you actually didn't.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well,
It was so close. You could have killed me.
No, I mean, it's funny. It's funny in my head to think that I backed into you by accident.
Yes, welcome to the stream where Death thinks it's funny.
Put in JoJo Part 4 ending right
Hey,
here.
I got shot a couple times too. You're not the only one who got crossbow bolted, but you would have been the only one who got hit by a truck.
And don't spoil JoJo. Remember, we're on YouTube. People put dislikes on us.
That's true. I mean, it did just air. Or at least
yeah,
the English did.
Also, you put me in a very precarious position where my friends keep saying, "Watch JoJo," and I'm like, I don't like JoJo.
How can you not like JoJo?
It's pretentious. It's like it's art style I don't like too.
I guess before we get too much into JoJo commentary,
I just have one thing to say, which is, oh my god! I'm an American, so I have to say, oh my god! All the time.
Is that a reference? Is that a JoJo's
That's a JoJo reference. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of instances of terrible English.
They have they have the old cowboy guy, and I'm also because he's from America, so he wears a cowboy hat like an American.
That's honestly my favorite trope.
I'm leaning on
America's Texas.
I'm leaning on you players to make sure we have the horrible American stereotypes in the game.
If this character ends up getting replaced, I'm gonna totally make an American.
Oh my god! I go to McDonald's. Yeah. So just Avery's just totally silent. So yeah. So you had gotten shot, and now it's been a couple of weeks, and I haven't had a chance to review the tape. So I believe you guys got your crap together and left, right? Correct?
We traveled away. I believe we burnt the truck to get rid of the evidence.
Right, because Rahul, being a career criminal, says, "Hold on, guys, I know how to dispose of a truck and get rid of evidence." How do you know this? I read it on the internet.
Also, we have one case of one box left from the factory, empty unfortunately, but nicely padded inside, and it's been just hidden away in the trash around where the truck has been destroyed.
Okay, right, and you destroyed the truck. It is actually this game does take place in the near future, so I'm assuming that yeah, I'm guessing Japan would be mostly electric because biofuels would probably not be something that they're importing. But so it's unusual that the truck was definitely an early model gas burner, specifically a model that doesn't have a built-in GPS, so it can be tracked, which is suspicious, but fortunately easier to dispose of.
Oh yeah, no, it was a real old truck.
Right. Meticulously maintained, which I think you observed when you went to Hotwire. Right?
Was it? I thought we said it was just really old, like a nearly broken down truck.
Well, it is nearly broken down and really old, but it's like a 60 to 70-year-old truck. The fact that it still ran and ran as well as it did implied it was still being maintained.
I just assumed they built them better back in the day. That's what I've heard all my time growing
It
up.
is a Japanese truck. But yeah, I also, when you went to Hotwire, you would have observed that if it hadn't been maintained, then the bolts and other fixtures would have been like caked in corrosion, whereas they had signs that they had been like, you know, removed and reattached. So it was all old and surplus parts, but it was definitely someone was working on it. You know, that bizarre Mad Max mentality of where everything is old, but, you know, people still built all this crap. But moving on, so Griffin, I think, so Griffin, you suffered a grievous injury.
Of some sort, I assume.
Of being shot by crossbow bolts until you fell down.
Right.
Okay. And I think Avery, Katsu, and Rahul, Kenichiro, and Jakai, you are pretty much okay, right?
Well, I mean, I do have crossbow bolts in my shoulder, but
I came unscathed.
I'm a tough guy, so...
So you just have the type of wound that the anime characters just like shrug off and go, you know, just like a little splotch of red on the character model.
Yeah, no, like later when we're all just getting around talking to one another about what happened, I'll be the guy in the background, you know, pushing an arrow or a crossbow bolt through his shoulder, or
But
breaking
you'll just
it
come
off.
back like in another scene and there's like a band-aid on top of your shirt.
Well, no one actually tapped an injury soak, right? Like, does anyone have one that requires a day or a chapter to recharge?
No, I soaked through it.
I only had panic.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, you guys will set Band-Aids on your face. So.
Or just a bloody shirt with no crossbow.
That's
No
right.
discernible wounds.
I haven't looked up to see what the Japan age ratings are. So yeah, we're an 18 up cartoon.
Oh man!
Blood.
Oh no, I was gonna say, is Japan one of the countries where they can't show blood, so they'd use some other different color?
If you show blood, you're in a different category. No, you've seen Hellsing. They can show blood.
Right, but I don't know what the age rating of Hellsing is.
Right, there's definitely like a category difference between nothing, between their shirts being red, between blood splattering and grievous injury.
Well, see, the way we would market this is we're having actually two programs at once, where we have the Daily Show, which is that airs on television. That's all
you got the
edited down.
You got the Sonic Sat AM, and you have the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon.
Oh my God, Sonic reference.
Susanoo says that's no good.
Yeah, so it's more like we're in the end of Evangelion. We're in the OVAs. We're in the direct-to-video releases, so we can be as violent as we want. And the budget goes up, so we've got like 3-tone shading and CGI backgrounds.
Hey everybody, look at my lip syncing.
My lip syncing.
Sure, Vital Hearts, the beginning is not the end.
Yes, all that kind of anime stuff. Or a Battler Tylenol. Love Requiem realized. I'm sorry, making me get out my random anime generator.
Yeah. We're gonna blow your fucking minds when our ending isn't combat related at all.
Well, that's when we run out of money, so it's just 45 minutes of you guys talking.
No, it's gonna be an hour-long introspection on Rahul's inner monologue.
Yeah, where he sits there and talks, and like
it's just a static floating head crossing the screen slowly behind bubbles.
Yep, surely we could do flashbacks and actually show you what Russia looks like, but that would mean we have to paint a background. I'm just gonna do clouds. Just Raul standing by the shore, clouds behind him.
So it's been quite a while. I've actually forgotten what our plan for tackling transverse micrologic was going to be here.
So you drove a truck through a building. So you drove a truck through the building, dispose of the truck, dispose of some of the evidence so you could recall it later. What was your plan after this? Because you set up the security
plan at the time
system.
was to try to ambush the people trying to get us and ask them some questions, and then it went really off the rails.
Yeah, didn't they call us at some point? Again? Like to meet them at like a restaurant or something?
Yeah, that's how it started.
Because I mean, they did that to me before. No,
Yeah.
I thought they did it. Okay, did it start that way? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, in fact,
That's how it
like
started.
when you guys sit there and compare notes, you're noticing that some of your social media has been compromised because there are people pretending to be you guys. Now, the Vital Hearts Online includes its own social media client because this is Japan. And a lot of you probably use third-party messengers, outside of that. Um, uh, um, there's actually, if you guys have been reading the Vital Hearts book, you may have noticed that there's screenshots of a chat client in the book. Have you guys seen that?
I did not.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't seen it yet.
the little sidebar boxes are formatted to look like a cell phone.
Oh.
chat.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah, totally.
Sorry, I don't actually have a real life cell phone, so I don't recognize these things.
Okay, right.
I'm pushing to be a.
Yeah. So we made it look like cell phone chat. So yeah, it's actually chatty catty is what that actually says in Japanese. So we didn't put a Neko mascot in. We thought about it. But the requests that have been coming up for you guys to meet each other are coming through the client that's in the game. So that the app that you download of like Vital Hearts chat, they encourage all of you to download it because it's two-factor identification.
Truly, the most advanced of technologies.
The most advanced. Someday they hope to invent a third factor. Dare to dream. So downloading the chat client also lets you guys talk to each other, and that's where the mysterious messages have been coming through. Though I imagine that Jakai, Oshiro, and Kenishiro are signed up for, lots of social media contacts, whereas Rahul, if they have any social media, I assume it's all like fake burner accounts.
Of course, it's all fake burner accounts.
Yep. This is just a reminder myself that one of the things we're supposed to add to the game is I really want to add more influence rules, because this is going to, now that you have like criminal and monetary influence, some of you want to exert that.
Right.
So I assume that what you did was afterwards you repaired to somewhere else. Where did you go? Because two weirdos showed up at Rahul's storage / apartment.
Well, at least my apartment, which contains a nice workshop.
Can I
Right.
make a suggestion then? We should probably go back to my place. I live way far away from here. As I've said before, I live somewhere near Tokyo. I take a long trek to go to work every day.
Well, I guess part of the point is that they definitely know where we all live.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that
Or at least where we've logged in from.
if they're headquartered out here, then it's still distance is safety in my mind.
Well, and as you can see from the map, mass transit is pretty good in Japan.
Right, that's what I said. I take a long trek to go to work every day because I work out in this region, but I live near Tokyo.
Yeah, do we have Tokyo on the map here? I don't think we do.
No.
Tokyo's.
Yeah, because Tokyo's way off.
Yeah, Tokyo's way up there.
That's what I said. I take like a 2-hour trek to work every day.
Yeah, did we time the bullet trains? Are they actually that slow?
I don't remember. I remember we did this math back when me and Griff
Yeah,
were
here we
coming
go.
up with our characters and decided where our business was. Not our business, but the business.
I'm looking at the train map here. You'd have to take the yellow line to work. You'd have to, and the red line is what goes to Tokyo. So, sorry, most of my knowledge of traveling to Japan is based on the 8 roads theory, which hasn't been in place for 400 years.
Outdated info is still info.
Yes, the tent government of the shogunate.
So I guess that's our currently only option. Anyone opposed to that one?
So,
All right. Guess we're hanging out at your place then.
All right,
On
so
a
you
2-hour ride.
Yeah, what are you doing about your appearance?
Well, I've been trying to update it over the years, but it's so hard with kids these days. I don't know what's hip anymore.
If I recall, I think I went back to my place to like grab one of the helmets because they're important. Right, because we modified them.
Now I know Rahul, before they evacuated, got the cracked helmet.
Right. So I think I went back to grab that for some reason. Maybe I also just grabbed a thick coat to go with it, and just wrapped that around to cover up any wounds.
I don't remember us gaming out going back to your house.
I
So
I only vaguely remember. Maybe it didn't happen, but that's my suggestion now for
well, so
how to
if you
handle
want to
it.
go back to your house, that's an option, but they may know your personal address. So do you want to risk that?
If guys, while we were preparing for this jaunt to TMC, we went through a place that sold weapons. Maybe we should go to some shady shop and buy us some clothes that would look clean and not destroyed.
I
And
was
that would
about to say
definitely
the
be
same.
possible. There's lots of cheap convenience stores and that sort of thing around here.
That's fair enough.
Oh, this is Japan. There's probably fresh changes of clothes and vending machines.
Um.
All the women's underwear you can wear.
Oh God, I was waiting for somebody to do that. Probably not clothes and vending machines yet. So, but anyway, I'm going to assume that you guys are going to do this under the radar. So I'm going to ask you guys to make rolls of mind and deceit. If you have any special abilities that would proc for this, Streetwise definitely procs for this.
What about criminal influence?
Criminal influence is a gift that you can tap that lets you roll twice. So roll first, and then if you want to roll twice, you can go ahead and worry about that.
I will
And I'm assuming
choose.
nobody in the party actually has the proc of disguise.
No. I will choose not to change my clothes.
But you've been shot.
Yes.
Change your clothes.
I've got no deceit, and my mind is a D4. I'm choosing not to risk failure by not putting myself out there. If somebody spots me, that's different from me going somewhere to make myself known.
All right, so yeah, Jakai protests in a typical Japanese fashion of saying, I don't know how to pretend to be something I'm not. This is Japan, where everyone is everything they always appear to be all the time. Okay, Avery, you've got 3 successes. Would you like to burn one of your successes to give a D8 bonus to Jakai?
Definitely.
Give it. Why don't you say some criminal advice, something you, Avery the player, have no experience with? So, what advice would you?
Look, we don't want to spook just random people.
I was eating a hamburger and I spilled ketchup on my shoulder. It happens every day.
Yes, everyone knows you as the ketchup spiller now.
Yeah, and it's very appropriate for the anime part of. I don't know how to look casual. I just had an exciting adventure. Hey, that's 1 success. See, assisting was perfect. So you guys go to a store and they'll like Jakai will start to freak out, I guess, a little bit, and Avery, as we just described, Rahul calms them down. All right, 1 success. Okay, so Griffin, no successes.
Apparently, my idea to dress up as the Stranger Danger Phantom is not actually panning out.
Like, do you have any procs that would trigger? Like, do you actually have Streetwise?
No, I don't. The only
Um,
thing I have is either an unnamed reward or a criminal influence.
you could tap your criminal influence.
Let's give it a try.
So roll a second time.
Hey, it comes out a lot better this time.
Right. So you can suggest to everyone, wait, I know this part of the Wakayama Prefecture we need to go to the seedy part of town. Don't walk over there. That wall of guys there with the bicycles are having a random Yakuza fight. You don't want to get involved in that.
Turns out they actually keep their social media very up to date on where they're about to fight.
Yeah. So you guys will find like one of those sketchy, like in Japan, they have all those brutalist concrete buildings that are built in the street corners, and they have those. Not only do they have those like forgettable convenience stores at ground level, they also usually have another one at basement level and another one right above it. Like it's so weird. They'll have like 3 stores all stacked, and they're all the same thing. So you guys find a seedier place where you suspect the cameras are fake. Because who can afford real cameras? And then you go through what meager cash you have and buy some stuff, and then change your outfits and dispose of your clothes. And you don't think anyone saw you or raised any questions. You will notice on your news feeds, this reporting from just an hour ago, mysterious explosion in Kansai. Fire hazard. There was a 1 alarm fire that's called fire department this time, described as an older combustion vehicle caught fire, but nothing interesting. There's no note of police are looking for 4 hikikomori or something like that.
Well, none of us are that.
Looking for 4
Neats.
lame. We're looking for 4 lame anime nerds.
I think it would be Neats before it would be Hikikomori.
So,
we wouldn't be out of the house if we were Hikikomori.
Job.
Police describe them as 8.5 heads tall, and they have 2 or 3 tones of shading. Be on the lookout for these people. Their animation budget is high.
They all look the same.
Do not approach. They all have the same face, but their hair is colored 4 different bright colors. Be on the lookout for a pink-haired individual.
Do you see someone out on the street who has more than 24 frames per second? Turn away and run.
Police describe them as having 3 or 4 eye highlights. And the ability to move at least 12 frames a second. Yes. Getting a little meta here.
I think that's just what we've come to expect now. But at least we are cleanly dressed and don't appear to be suspicious.
Yeah, so Griffin, you guys will I guess get on the train.
Yup.
And go back to Oshiro's apartment. No one interferes with you.
Alright. I'm grabbing my important computer tech and the helmet. Then getting out for the time being.
Yeah, the rest of you, your social media accounts on your phones are blinking. I'm going to assume that Rahul already confiscated all of your phones and turned off your location services.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I've done it even before this.
Yep.
If you want to come meet me in the park where we're not going to look at each other on the bench, then you have to turn your phone off.
Yeah. So the weird part about it is that all 4 of you are getting text messages from each other. That says, "Hey, I heard the news. Are you okay?" That all 4 of you can just look at each other and you'll know, wait a minute, we didn't send these text messages.
Yeah, I'm just fine. Just turn around and look at me. You don't have to send me text messages.
Right. So, and they're all coming from the Vital Hearts chat client. Yeah, and I'll say things like, "Give me a call when you get a chance. I'm worried about you."
Oh, well,
boy.
I guess it's time to burn these accounts.
Oh wait, that's my actual account.
That's your actual. It's tied to your actual Vital Hearts account. You'd have to stop.
Too much of this character.
We have to stop playing, and we've already clarified we're so addicted that we stopped to play for 4 hours and do a dungeon after we were almost ambushed and killed.
Yeah.
You were half unconscious, and you still managed to pull through.
Yeah,
That's just how much I want to play, guys. I
That-
can't stop now.
that's hardcore gaming. Just hey, I bet you eventually someone will stream while they're bleeding out from a crossbow wound. I'd watch that. It's hardcore, awesome games done while bleeding. I'm a horrible person, and you're recording this on the internet.
It's gotta happen. It's prophetic now. Let it be known. The year 2019.
There we go. We predicted blood sports, as in people get shot while playing video games. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So this spooks Rahul, but not sure the rest of you. Oh, and here it comes back out. What you can loot whatever stuff you want from your house. So I guess you got your gaming console, and anything else you want.
Yep. Hey, Jakai, don't forget the coffee machine.
I'm sorry, did I go in your house?
Well, it's
Do you
not
want-
like I'm going to just like say, "Oh no, you have to stay outside. You can't come in. You know, it's not clean or anything."
I thought I was waiting at the train station. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, you bring. Oh, he brings Jakai, the biggest among you.
Well, I'm
You can
also his
hold my
best
stuff
friend.
for me.
We're the ones that had a pre-existing relationship. We didn't just meet like the rest of us.
Also true. So here, Ashiro, what does your house look like? You live alone, right?
Yeah, I think I described it previously as like Spartan and efficient.
Your walls aren't covered.
It's
with,
got like the bed. It's got like walls with nothing on them. It's got like the coffee machine. It's got the computer.
Yeah, you don't have like a big library of like manga or big posters on the walls or anything.
No, it looks totally boring. Literally everything is like on that computer, and maybe I have like a projector or something fancy like that. But that would probably be like the defining feature.
Yeah, so it's not that exciting. So you grab the game console and anything else you want.
Yep. Computer so I can do computer stuff. Coffee machine so I can coffee.
All right, they come back out without an incident. I'm assuming that none of you are replying to the weird text messages that you're getting.
No.
Well,
Definitely not.
you just said Rahul took our phones.
No, I said I assumed Rahul at some point took your phones, turned off your location services, and then maybe handed them back to you.
Ah.
Because it's kind of like, in an anime moment of like, wait a minute, why would I want location services turned off? And then after you turn it off, your phone will ask you, do you want to turn location services back on? 89 of your apps require them. Stop! No!
Reminds you like every 5 minutes about it.
Yeah, it's like this Three Stooges routine. Hey, that's okay, guys. You need to turn location services back on. Number who will slap you upside
You
the
press
head.
3 buttons in a row. Would you like to turn location services on permanently?
Or our favorite screenshot, Peggle would like to manage phone calls. Sure, what the hell? Peggle makes phone calls now.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because as soon as you guys start disabling that, your phones get all upset. But then Rahul has to explain that this is crime now. And remember, this is an anime, so it's for young teenagers. So we have to devote like 10 minutes describing how cool computer crime is. We're doing computer crimes now. We're doing crime.
In the future, you can download cars.
Yeah, be yaoi, do crimes.
Alright.
So I guess you then get on the train and go to Tokyo.
Yep. Seems to be the plan.
Edagawa.
Excellent. We managed to pad out the anime budget by showing the train going by and slow pans of the countryside.
And a whole
The-
20-minute intro.
All
Manos
four,
Hands of Fate would be jealous.
all four of you are exhausted with your bubble tea or energy drinks in your hand, whatever it is that you guys drink, as the sun slowly rises.
That weird drink with a ball in the cap. That there's a trick to
Oh
drinking
yeah,
it.
do they still make those, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but you get used to it.
I've
It's
not heard of that yet. I'm going to look that up later.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of sugar water. I just learned about Spezi, but that's a European thing, right? That's orange soda and cola mixed together. Like what? Ugh.
Ugh.
I want to try it now. But yeah, you drink your weird drinks, and eventually, now Jakai gets to describe what his house looks like.
Oh, it's a I live in an apartment complex, predominantly filled with Indian people, which I thought was going to be cool when I thought Rahul was an Indian. Well, I'm half Indian, half Japanese. My mother is my mother's from India. My dad is Japanese. By the way, you know the Prime Minister's family has Indian family relations.
What's the place look like?
So what's your place look like?
I know. Sorry, I was getting into my character a little bit there, since I never get to describe anything.
Cool. Well, also, like is that why that make you try to manifest as an overachiever because of the xenophobia that runs rampant even in modern Japan?
Well, I mean, that's why this place is such a cool place to live, is because we're all very, helpful to one another. That's why we all congregated to one little plaza district. Because this is the primary place to live if you're an Indian living in Japan. But I have very a modern-looking aesthetic to my house. I imagine a one-bedroom, one-bath. Got a single living room that also doubles as my dining room. Small one. What do you call it? The thing that goes across the counter. It's like a counter, but you also eat on top of it. In your kitchen, it separates it. You can put bar stools in front of it.
Island.
Yeah, it's kind of like an island. Yeah, island with that single island.
You have a very nice modern place of minimalist furniture.
Right.
So nothing also to indicate that you're part of the neat lifestyle.
Because I'm not.
Right. Okay, and you actually have a pretty good job.
Yeah, so. I'm a day laborer. I work construction or maintenance. I work maintenance at a very high-class business, which itself is a low-class job, blue collar, but...
it's Japan. There are no low-class jobs.
Well, I'm saying it's a low-class job at a high-class business, which means I get fairly well paid for doing manual labor.
Yeah, and you have to go to work in 6 hours.
Yep. It's not unheard of.
You'll get back... Well, yeah, you get back to Jakai's place. It's very nice. So, does anyone have any gifts that only recharge once a day? I think you've all pushed through your force of personalities.
How much does influence recharge? Okay.
Influence, I think, is still listed as once a chapter.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to recharge over time. But also, we made a side note that it's also tit for tat. So if you do a criminal favor, it can also recharge because you did stuff for criminals. So
gotcha.
It recharges when you do a crime for someone else.
The only one I can think of would be my cleric soak. Not my cleric power. I don't have cleric soak or anything like that.
Well, see, and since that recharges once per day, that's on a video game cooldown. So that'll so you can't take a nap and recharge it faster. Although by some logic, you could log off and it might recharge faster.
Wait until you wake up and you start seeing video game characters in the real world. Then we'll have a problem.
I suppose we should put a sidebar in the notes that says something is once per day in the video game. Technically, it might be on a 24-hour cooldown, or it might be on a log off and log back on type of cooldown, depending on.
That's sweet MMO rest XP.
I logged out at a tavern. Plus 200 speed bonus.
Right. I mean, we say once per day because we mean you have to go several scenes. But as I'm talking about, in terms of exhaustion, you guys have been running around for 18 to 20 hours straight. If you need to sleep, I'm assuming that your house has just the one bed.
That's what I said. One bed, one bath.
Yeah.
It's made 4 rooms basically. Kitchen, living room, bedroom, bathroom.
But there's still the low table with the what do they call the soft floor? Okay, I guess you guys don't have a name for it.
I don't know what the floor is. I kind of remember what the table was called.
Tatami mats. So you do have the room with the tatami mats in it.
I thought you were gonna say the table that you put the heater underneath the middle of, and everybody puts the blanket over top so they can all just keep warm.
Yeah, you definitely have that, even though you have central air and don't need it.
Because nobody needs it. Well, I guess during the winter some people do need it, but I mean it's a good communal thing. I mean, friends
Yeah.
get together and it's comfortable.
Right. Yeah, I mean, modern buildings don't need it, but you still have it.
Yeah, it's nice.
So yeah, so he has a nice place. So, all right. So, and Jakai, you're supposed to go to work in 6 hours. What are you going to do?
Go to bed.
Okay, so you're going to go to bed. You're only going to get like 4 hours of sleep.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
All right. So Jakai says he's going to go to bed. The three of you have run of his place.
Also, technically, I think one of you also needs to go to work in 6 hours.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be sending a message in the morning along the lines of too sick to come to work, too sick to actually make the phone call, so just doing this in text.
Dishonorable! Dishonor on you, dishonor your family.
Cashing in the 0.5 sick days that I have.
No, this is Japan. You actually have sick days.
Still, you're not expected to use them.
You're not expected to use them,
It is
but you still have.
dishonorable. Yeah.
And Kenshiro, what was your job again? Are you also a criminal, or what are you?
Kenichiro's a criminal. I think we said before that he does a lot of stealing of credit card numbers and information, so he's probably works on the computer and does that through doxing and other illicit means of figuring out other people's information.
Yeah, so Rahul and Kenshiro, you guys, we're criminals. We make our own hours.
Yes.
Right,
So-
tell that to yourself while I take this big comforter and hog the entire couch. Good night.
Also, tell that to my health insurance.
Yeah, so the two workaday slobs decide they need to rest. What are
I
the two?
have 3 health insurances.
So what are the two of
Yeah,
you
but
going?
mine can be legally backed up.
Like I said, if anything is a daily, you probably have to rest to get it back. But if there's anything else you want to do, I mean, you're free and clear. Your phone, the news hasn't reported anything specifically about you. You're not seeing any APBs.
I probably will just remind them. I think our goal is still to figure out where the Transverse Micrologic Factory is, and I'm not sure that was it.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't have a lot of photographic evidence to go over.
It was kind of dark there.
Yeah, it was dark, and none of you spent time actually, taking photos because
I think
you were
we
busy.
destroyed something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have destroyed their own main machine, but and we also destroyed quite a few of those robots. So I am surprised that we did not hear about this fire.
The factory fire.
Yep.
You can start going now.
That wasn't actually a fire, though. Remember, that just melted the thing.
And I told you about like the world's most obvious stuff that happened on your social media. If you'd like to dig deeper and see what's being reported on police blotters and other things, maybe it's time to start deep diving into computers. So I assume you get out your hacker tablet, and if you want to start deep diving, hey, we're going to do it on Jakai's IP. All right.
Actually, I was thinking of trying to figure out where the users on our Vital Art social media are coming from.
Yeah, that is pretty obvious because that is I mean, it's coming directly from the video game client. So someone's compromised the video game client as pretending to be you on the social media service. So,
Uh,
I will assist in this because I only have Mind and Streetwise.
okay. Whereas Oshiro, you're an actual hacker, right?
I'm a totally legit programmer, but I also cheat in video games.
Okay. So yeah, so if you guys want to do deep diving, questioning would be the appropriate skill for it, and programming would apply because you guys are looking in computers, and streetwise would apply because you guys are criminals. Avery has streetwise as a proc. One success automatically, you at least get a bonus D8. Avery describes the deep web to you using terms that are painfully inaccurate for our anime.
Just checking out if I got anything else here to help.
Yeah, the botch rule is optional, and I'm not using it for a lot of this stuff.
Thankfully.
Yeah, because since both of you are like team botch, apparently.
We are both tired, obviously.
Right.
I'm just like there on the couch, laying back, phone up, just going, "Hey guys, I found something."
But you've got programming and Streetwise, right?
I don't have
Yes.
Streetwise.
Okay, so you've got yeah. Sorry, I'm looking up here. You got programming. So you've got 2 successes, and yeah, and Arcaloid's not. Wait, did you assist?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I thought I was going to do it on my own, but if it wanted to be an assist role, that's fine.
Oh no, wait. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Oshiro, you went to bed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oops.
Okay. So Arcaloid, go ahead and roll in a bonus D8.
All right.
Okay, so you've got 2 successes, and then Rahul makes a couple suggestions. I know about the deep web, says Kineshiro. You know, we're going to go ahead and use your bitcoins and buy the marijuana. Oh, wait, sorry, it's the future. We're going to use our Facebook coins. All right, so once again, the obvious stuff is there was the explosion that the newspaper reported on. The police blotter will also report that there was an incident, and you have 3 successes. So you will actually be able to get into, since this is an anime and visual, some of the police cam footage, because some of the police will be wearing body cams, because even though this is Japan and that's not necessarily a big issue, it's also the future. So you may, because you guys have 3 successes, like, well, let's go ahead and get into the local prefecture police station. I can't believe their password was 911. Who does that? And get the police cordon off the area. By the time they got there, you could see the remains of the truck, but the machine that it crashed into has turned into the elephant foot from Chernobyl. Are you guys watching that?
I plan to
No,
start.
but I'm still familiar.
With 3 successes and you're both criminal stuff, you could say that looks like they thermited it or something similar to it to destroy it before the police actually arrived. That looks like scorched earth fleeing the scene type stuff. It's actually hard to make something explode. Even with an old truck like that, the gas tank would have been compartmentalized. So the truck burned but didn't explode. So you can see, but the burned out hulk of the truck is in line with what you guys think. Oh, no, wait, you guys didn't leave the truck there. Why am I saying that? You moved the truck somewhere else. No, the police, I apologize. The truck is not at the factory site. My bad. But the factory site, they'll have photos of the machine that you guys crashed into, but it has been melted. And it has the telltale signs of magnesium thermite burns. Apologies to anybody who actually knows how this works. There are no signs of robot corpses. Like, the police don't mention it. They find some of the crossbow bolts and put down, signs. They also photograph the blood splatter, where I believe Shiro collapsed behind a small wall, right?
Yeah, behind the small wall and or where the truck originally was placed.
Right. So that's still there. But the evidence report meticulously. No one has any pictures of your faces. And there are no witnesses to interview. No one reports seeing either robot people or anyone that matches your description. So you guys got away clean. And in fact, with 3 successes, oh yeah, you guys burned the truck. So yeah, they also report that they found the truck, but the police reports don't know if the truck is consistent with the other crime that happened. They know 2 crimes happened at the same time, but they have no evidence in the report to connect the 2 of them. Sure,
We
it's
would
an old
check the tire tracks, but the tires also ended up burning in the fire and melting, so we
Right.
can't compare.
I mean, they have a note here that the 2 crimes happened in a similar time frame and have a similarity to them because they're technological, but they have nothing to link them. There's no camera traffic footage. Once again, it's the Kansai district. Oh, there would be a note in the file that they noted that there were security cameras at the place, and their cameras are still there, but when they attempted to contact the owner of the property, there hasn't been a response yet. You guys have 3 successes. This will turn up the name of the property holder, which would be Pink Chrysanthemum. I don't have time to look it up. Okay, guys, I can't spell chrysanthemum. There, I just embarrassed myself in front of the entire chat by not being able to spell that. The Pink Chrysanthemum Real Estate Holdings Company. There we go. Thank you. And that lists an address and a contact number, but the police report also says that the voicemail box hasn't been set up, and no one answered. So they have a note. Look into this. This is the property owner and the security cameras. Oh, and also there's a note that they can't find out if the property is insured, which is also a violation, as there's no insurance listed on file.
I imagine an abandoned property wouldn't exactly have insurance.
You guys have 3 successes, so you have at least 3 more questions you can ask me that I haven't answered yet.
Come on, guys,
All
gotta think
right,
something.
I have a quick question. Does the police blotter have anything on my hideout?
You guys rolled 3 successes. Suspiciously, not a damn thing.
Good.
Those people who showed up and claimed they were police either didn't file a report or weren't police. There is not a damn thing in the police blotter.
I mean, we know they were not police because they were robots. What I was worried about is that somebody actually found the door, my door broken, and reported it, and the whole thing has been now cordoned off and so on.
No,
Which-
this is gonna be a pause here. It's like I like how you pause and say, like, "Hey, I wonder if someone noticed my door was broken and reported it." No, apparently you live in a really shitty building, Rahul.
I would
That's
not
why
expect
I
anything to
chose
remain in
it.
your apartment.
I know. That's what this is. Yes, hooray! No one reported that my place was broken into, he says, raising his hands triumphantly.
Yes.
So yeah, that is pointedly not in there. Anything else I'm omitting?
No questions for me.
All right. Kenshiro, anything else you wanted to know about the world, the dark web? Wanted to buy, like I said, marijuana with bitcoins or whatever?
I think he's pretty good for now.
Okay. So yeah, you guys do that montage of the rest of you like typing in front of computers. And oh my god, you guys are exhausted. Well, 4 hours go by and your guy's alarm goes off.
Time to make the donuts.
Let's see. Kenshiro, what's your motto again?
Doing it their way is not as much fun.
And Rahul is observe, report, and act. I think they were nice enough to brew you a pot of coffee, Jakai.
Oh, thanks.
They put on a fresh pot. We're professional criminals. We need to know that the coffee is always brewing.
It's one of life's essentials.
In fact, wait, they'll pour the coffee for you. We're criminals. Here you go. First mug is free. Yeah, you are horribly beaten down, Jakai. I'm going to need you to make a roll of will, endurance, and presence.
Am I horribly beaten down?
You worked all day, then ran to a place, drove a truck through a wall, got shot at by crossbolts, altercated with robots, and then got a bunch of change of clothes and came home. Horribly might not be the word, but you've had what I think they might say a rough day. Do you have any procs that would help, or abilities that would help you get through a rough day?
I don't think so. One, two, three, 6.
You have one success. You make yourself look presentable.
If I put on the right work clothes.
You dress nicely, get your clothes there. You have bags under your eyes, but what is that word? It's not Karuto. What is that word? The work yourself to death ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're working yourself to death. So yes, Japan.
They'll appreciate that at work.
Yeah, and get on the train for 2 hours all the way back to work.
4.5 actually.
Then you would have only gotten 2 hours of sleep.
Perfect.
A little power napping, that's all.
You sleeping on the train. Every now and then when your head kind of bobs, and then
you lean against the window, so that way the constant knocking of the train going around corners and whatnot. I'm like, I'm not falling asleep on this train again. It's an 8-hour round trip.
Also, you're fatigued, and remember there are those robots that are wandering around there pretending to be people. As you're sitting on the train, you're looking at the other crowds that are on there. You have to wonder, are they all really people? Or any of these robots that have been sent to imitate people, to spy on you, or perhaps there's some other unguessable purpose?
You know what you've done?
Like,
You've made this a part of the anime opening now. Any scene where a train is going by and someone's staring out a window. This is my staring out the window as the train goes by scene part of the opening, where we all know, anybody who's got to like episode 17 now knows that this is the moment where I'm considering my life and everything around me.
I like to imagine like the opening has changed. Like, you're on the train, it passes like under some shadows, and early on it just, a little frame of darkness, but now there's like red dots for people's eyes.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
One or two people in the train.
And this is the low moment of the song, of the background music, right before it goes to the action scenes where like a big old metal device is melting and we're all shooting crossbow bolts at one another or some shit.
Oh yeah, just like one beat of rest and then straight into it.
And some bizarrely upbeat song plays in the background.
Yes, with one of us declaring our love for some woman we've yet to have met yet in the anime.
I don't think I'm going to
maybe
the song "Flowers of My Heart."
Maybe some big-haired girl that looks like she's from 1800s England for some reason. I'd say blonde, but I can't remember.
It's powder white.
Okay, because I can only remember the uncolored picture. I couldn't remember what the actual colored picture looked like.
Yeah, because she's gray in the uncolored picture. Yeah, no, she actually is. Well, everything about her is gray. She doesn't actually have any color.
Got to bring her to life.
Yes, bring her to life. That is the best idea you've ever had.
Hey, in any movie, anime, sci-fi novel, whatever, I will always be the one that screws humanity over by wanting to make the AI real.